Today I'm gonna walk you through the most viral recipe on the internet. 1,000-layer potato, potato pave, whatever you wanna call it. It's absolutely delicious. I'm gonna show you how to make it better. We're gonna layer it with some prosciutto and some fresh herbs, topped with a black garlic aioli and some chives.
Okay guys, so the first thing we need to do is lay out our prosciutto. I just like to do this on a piece of parchment paper.
You wanna go ahead and bake this for about 6 to 8 minutes at 325 degrees Fahrenheit. You wanna just bake it till the edges start to curl a little bit. We're just rendering out the fat, make it so it's still a little bit pliable, and that way it'll layer in between our potatoes and our potatoes will stay flat.
Go ahead and lay another piece of parchment right on top and then another sheet pan just to keep these flat until they cool down. We also want to chop up some fresh herbs. I'm using rosemary, thyme, and sage for this. You want to chop them up very, very fine. Next, we're gonna peel 6 to 8 russet potatoes. You can also use Yukon Golds or Kennebec potatoes for this. I like to do it on a piece of parchment just to keep your work area clean, and it's an easy pickup. I also like to take my loaf pan and spray just a little nonstick cooking spray. This will help the parchment stick to the pan. This is just gonna help your potatoes lift out easier. If you have a nonstick pan that you trust, then go ahead and just use that. You don't need the parchment.
So now we need to slice our potatoes. I like to just dry it off a little bit. We do not want to put water on our potatoes. We want to slice them as thin as possible.
I go about 1/16 of an inch. I would not go beyond 1/8 of an inch. You really want these to lay flat and as thin as possible. We'll take 300 milliliters. That's just about over a cup of chicken fat, duck fat, or beef tallow. You really want to mix these in. Take your time. You really want to coat each potato just to ensure that they don't oxidize. Once you've cut your potatoes, do not put them in water as we need that extra starch to really make them stick.
So now we just need to layer.
Go ahead and shingle your potatoes and overlap them. I like to do one single layer one way, and then the next layer I like to do the opposite way. Make sure that you're really filling in the sides around the corners, and if you have any smaller cut potatoes, I like to fill the gaps in with those.
Sprinkle of our herbs. You just want to go light with these. You don't want to do a lot. And not every layer, but every few layers you want to do a little bit of potato starch. This will just ensure that your potatoes stick and give them a little extra crunch.
Once you have a few layers, I like to do the prosciutto. I just take the slices and cut them in half and then lay 1.5 slices down. And then I just go ahead and layer it up again with some more potatoes. I try to do at least 3 layers and then add a prosciutto layer. And then the opposite, I'll do a little bit of herbs. Just kind of mix it up. You guys can do whatever you want, but that's just what I did. Go ahead and pour the rest of your fat in with the potatoes. This is just going to really help them confit and just soak up all that delicious flavor. And then we'll just fold down the sides of your parchment paper, and you really want to press them flat.
All right, so last thing we want to do is place another parchment right on top and just press it down. Really make sure you flatten those layers. Make sure that that prosciutto doesn't pop up. We're gonna flatten this overnight after we cook it, but perfect, especially in the middle where it starts to bow up a little bit, just naturally from you doing the potatoes, just kind of evens it out. Cover it with foil. All right, our 1,000-layer potato is ready to go in the oven. You wanna bake this at 300 degrees for at least 2 hours. You'll know when they're ready when you take a toothpick and insert it into the potatoes and there's no resistance. You do not wanna undercook these. It's okay to overcook them a little bit, which is what you want. They're just slowly gonna confit in that duck fat or chicken fat or beef tallow, whatever you decide to use. So just have some patience. Trust me, it will be rewarded when you eat these in the end. So we'll go ahead and bake these at 300 degrees for at least 2 hours.
All right, next let's make our umami black garlic aioli. I love this stuff.
I wanted to talk about black garlic for a second. If you guys haven't tried this, it's absolutely delicious. I highly suggest you find it. It's sold in most grocery stores now, specialty markets. You can buy it online. I'll leave a link in the description where you can pick it up. It is actually slowly fermented over time, roughly 2 to 4 weeks, usually dehydrated at 140 to 170 degrees Fahrenheit. And it just creates that Maillard reaction over time and just turns out so savory and jammy and delicious. It almost creates a umami flavor to it. And I absolutely love it. It has notes of like tamarind, toffee. It tastes completely different than regular garlic. It turns very sweet. I've made black garlic ice cream before, which was absolutely delicious, believe it or not. But I thought this black garlic aioli would go really nice with our 1,000-layer potato just right on top. Black garlic.
Let's cut up 6 to 8 cloves, or about 340 grams. We'll put them in a tall jar, and then 1 egg yolk, 1 egg, 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of Dijon, 2 cloves of garlic, 10 to 12 cloves of roasted garlic, about 2 tablespoons of water, 1 teaspoon or 5 mils of sherry vinegar, and about 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, a few dashes of a good quality hot sauce you like, and of course salt and pepper. And then we'll just go ahead and emulsify this. You want to add in 180 milliliters, about 3/4 cup of avocado oil, just until it's emulsified. We'll put this in a squeeze bottle and go ahead and place it in your fridge and let it cool down for at least 2 hours.
All right, potatoes are out. So how to check when your potatoes are done? Just get a nice long skewer and just go right down to the bottom. If there's no resistance, which I didn't feel any, then you know that they're cooked through. We're gonna press these overnight in the fridge. So just get another pan, lay it right on top, and then you wanna put some weight. I just have a can and a bottle. That's as much weight as you need right there, just to keep it nice and flat. Definitely want to do this overnight. You can't rush this step. So if you're trying to make it same day, it's not going to work out. So make sure that you cool these overnight in the fridge, let them do their thing, and your patience will definitely be rewarded. So we'll come back to these tomorrow.
All right, so next day I found to get these out a little bit easier, you can either warm them up in the oven, or if you have a blowtorch like I do, just go ahead and fire up the sides a little bit and the top will come off easy. Go ahead and cut them to the like size that you want. Look at that beautiful prosciutto in the middle. And then I just kind of cleaned them up real quick. Next, we want to fry these at 380 degrees Fahrenheit or 193 Celsius until they're delicious and golden brown.
Hoo-wee! Well guys, we did another delicious recipe. I absolutely love these potatoes. The fork fits perfectly inside. Let's make this recipe go viral again. Oh, you get some nice saltiness from the prosciutto, nice herbaceousness from obviously the thyme, rosemary, and sage, and then that black garlic aioli to top it. Let's do a one biter. Like I said, guys, we were doing this dish 2.0 today, and I think we perfected it. This is my favorite way I've ever made these potatoes, and I'm super happy with it. I don't think anyone's done with the prosciutto yet. Maybe they have, I haven't seen it, but definitely the fresh herbs in there too gives it a nice touch. I wanna thank you all for joining me. I hope you get out there and have a happy holiday. Share this recipe with your family and friends. You wanna be the top chef at your next work event, definitely make these 1,000-layer potatoes and you will be talked about for years after that. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. So if you haven't done so already, please plan on becoming a member. And I'm gonna show you some behind the scenes, some uncut clips, and just some really cool, valuable information if you guys really wanna upgrade and take your cooking to that next level. So definitely become a member. And guys, as always, I can't thank you enough for coming back week after week. And I hope you share this video with some of your family and your friends. And yeah, I love you. Take care.